What's going on YouTube? Three Sons RC coming back at you with another bash video. Now we got the Arrma Typhon TLR tuned on the bench. We're gonna bash this thing today in 3 different setups. We're gonna bash it off-road with the Badlands. We're gonna do some street bashing with the Hoons, and we're gonna go full sender with some stock tires on there. Now this is a very unique vehicle. It's got some cool racing features, some tuning options that y'all might really like. We're gonna give you feedback after the video what we think about these options. Does it help? Does it hinder, right? We're gonna go over the upgrades we currently have on this vehicle, and we're gonna go over our recommended upgrades if you're wanting to go full sender. So let's get to the bashing, guys. That's what I know you wanna see, but we're gonna be controlling this today with the radio link and with some Ovonic batteries powering with the 100C, baby. Let's go.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me. I'm
so different than all my other rigs. Very similar to the Typhon XL, but because she's short wheelbase, it's a little crazier.
But I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I came around way too hard that second one. That was a chassis slapper and a half. Let me check her out. That would usually kill a shock standoff. Man, she's solid. Man, she just looks mean. Wow, she is pretty damn graceful in the air, guys. Holy cow. Well, I definitely have my new best handling vehicle. Holy cow. Guys, 5mm M2C extenders on this rig with some Badlands. I think they're like the 11, what's the number on these? 1173s? Man, that handles well. This might be my new ramp weapon. Holy cow. I'm just getting used to her in the approach. She's a little tricky. Steering's turned up a little too high. Just had to stick with it a little bit. So sometimes you just gotta let her coast and correct herself and hope she's good. You overreact in the air, hitting the gas, hitting the brake. Sometimes she'll just come back around.
Okay. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.
Look like you had, what did you do? So you hit the gas, the car controls in the air like it does on the ground. So if it's in the air and you want it to flip more, you hit the gas. You want it to flip the other way, you hit the brake, or you hit reverse.
So that thing was gonna land on its top.
Yeah, but I was doing it lazy. So
You tapped it in it.
Yep.
The wheel.
So I did a lazy first flip, and then I did it faster on the second flip because I kind of like to pull it around last second. It's dangerous because, you know, if you're off, you can't really recalculate because you're so close to the ground, but it looks cool. And sometimes hitting the brake last second is more dangerous than hitting the gas last second, if that makes any sense.
Man, guys, that was a blast. We super enjoyed this TLR tuned Typhon 6S. We were surprised at how well this thing handled out the box. Now, we want to go over real quick the upgrades that we currently have on this vehicle. Is this a racer? Is this a basher? What are the upgrades that we currently have on this vehicle? And really, if you want to go super sender, what are some upgrades that we might recommend? We want to go over what are the parts that make this TLR tuned Typhon a little bit different than other Typhons. Do those things help? Do they hinder? What are the advantages and disadvantages of those things? For electronics, we're on the Castle 2200 KV. This thing is legendary. We're on the Mamba Monster X 6S. Great ESC, and I love that this can be run at an 8 amp BEC. We're running the ProTech 130T. This is a really powerful and quick servo. Now, just a quick couple upgrades above stock. We're running the HR center diff mount. We're running M2C braces in the front and the back. We're not going to run no plastic braces on this puppy because we're sending it, baby. And you can see that we're running the T-Bones bumpers front and back. And sorry, guys, they're out of business now. Rest in peace. We miss you all, T-Bones. Now, for lipos, we're running two different options. We have these Ovonic packs, which they've been super reliable for me in the past. So, of course, I'm going to be running these Rebel Series 5300 120C packs. These things are fiery, but they are a little bit tall. They rub on the body, so I switched down to these 6500 100C packs, and these are both great options for you. Other options that you might want to check out that actually are a little bit lower, that you know, in terms of height, is we got these Z packs, these 100C 5200s. They're a little bit shorter, and even shorter than those is these RC lipos. I haven't tested these yet out. These 5200s, these are super low, and they are 120C packs. We'll test them out to see how reliable these packs are, because, you know, I have used Ovonics mostly in the past because they have been just super reliable, haven't dropped cells, balance really quick. They've been super great for me. So check them out. Link in the description if you want to check out any of these batteries. So what makes a TLR tuned Typhon any different than any other Typhon? Well, right off the bat, it has a 7075 chassis. They're actually, I believe, 7075 towers, so these are sweet front and back. The shocks, they have a little bit thicker oil, and they're tuned just TLR tuned, right? I don't know what that means differently. I think the pistons are a little bit different inside. But one of the major things that we want to focus on that's different about the TLR tuned Typhon than any other Typhon out there is actually these front and rear hinge pins. So what comes included in the kit is all different plastic inserts that you could put in the hinge pin kits and basically adjust the angle of the pin, which adjusts the arm, and that affects the suspension geometry and how the rig handles. Now, if you're a racer, you love tuning, you love tweaking, you're gonna love all these different options, right? Now, but unlike the stock and unlike aftermarket, the hinge pins are actually not screwed into anything. They're not secured on the end, so that is a differentiator. Now, in racing, that doesn't seem to matter too much because the vehicles are not going crazy into the air. So basically, you can tune this thing to your heart's delight. If you're a racer, you're gonna love all the different options that TLR worked with Arrma to make this vehicle super adjustable and race ready. So the fact that you have a 7075 chassis, 7075 towers, the hinge pin kits are strong 7075. They're much higher quality than what comes stock in a normal Arrma rig. Because of all these upgrades right out the box, this thing is super tough and is definitely bash ready. I did add the M2C braces off the bat because I know what I like to do. Besides that, this is a very capable bash ready vehicle. Is it more race ready than super bash ready? I would have to say yes. I would not say that this is a hardcore bash, right? And let me get into why I think that. It's kind of what I talked about just a second ago. With these inserts, the hinge pins are actually not screwed into anything, so they're not supported. So basically the hinge pin just goes back and forth, and there's a plastic dowel on each end, right? And that's the same way in the back and in the front, and actually this upper hinge pin, actually in the back, there's another insert back here. So there's nothing screwing into this upper front hinge pin. It's basically just supported front and back by these plastic dowels, as you can see in the front like that in the shock tower. Great for tuning, but can be an issue when it comes to hardcore bashing. Let me tell you why. When hardcore bashing, you don't always land right. And when you get awkward landings,
the tires come in at an awkward angle, it sends a shock up into this area, and because these hinge pins in the top and the bottom are not supported like they are on a stock rig and definitely an M2C rig, it can cause issues. A lot of my friends that I've talked to in the bashing community that send this rig, they have had issues where basically the bulkhead will explode, the tower will come off very easily because basically you're losing one of your connection points right here to the bulkhead. By having this cool suspension adjustments, you're losing some connectivity. So the tower's only connected to the bulkhead here and here. So there's only 4 connection points. It's not even connected normally like it is right here because this is just floating in these plastic dowels. That causes a weak point on the top and on the bottom because they're not supported. Same thing for the front and the back. I've heard of bulkheads exploding. Now that just happens occasionally when you're going full sender. Can you bash this vehicle? Absolutely. We bash this vehicle. We're landing in the grass, we're landing in the sand. That's perfectly fine. You're doing ramp sends, you're going to the skate park, that's where you might run into some issues. You're going full sender, you might run into some issues. Now, we were just testing this thing out. We were not even going as big as we'd like to. We're gonna do some upgrades before we go full sender. But guys, if you wanna go full sender with this thing, this is great for racing, but these little tweaks, they don't really matter much to me. I'm more of a hardcore basher. A lot of you guys that watch my channel are into that kind of stuff, but some of you might be into racing, that's fine too. You might like this kind of stuff. For me, it doesn't really matter. I'm more about stability, strength, durability. If I land bad, which I do sometimes, you saw it in the video, I want strength. I want to be able to just keep bashing. So with that, if you're going to upgrade this rig and go super sender, what upgrades do we recommend? So if I were to recommend anything right off the bat, guys, obviously got these M2C chassis braces, front and rear, 70-75. These things are a must for this vehicle because it comes with plastic ones. Then we're going to get to that main issue that I talked about, is those hinge pins. How do you fix that? The problem is that this tower is designed to be used with this whole system. So if you want to get strengthened up in this hinge pin area, you're actually going to have to replace these towers and the hinge pins to get rid of that weakness. These are the basic recommended upgrades if you want to go full sender with this vehicle. Besides the chassis braces, is number 1, obviously these rear towers by M2C Racing and the front towers. Now you can see they're a little bit thicker than the stock, especially up in this area, and there's reinforcement. With this front tower is the front upper hinge pin kit, and this is nice because it has this little connecting piece that basically locks in where the hinge pin would come through down into there, and this is one piece that's connected right here, and that strengthens it all up. And actually you can see that this is threaded with a little bit of Loctite, guys, and it's threaded right into the back of these hinge pins. So basically you don't have to worry about this backing out and just resting in this plastic piece. So this is a must if you're wanting to go full sender on here. And of course with that, the front and the rear hinge pin kits by M2C Racing. Now what that does, guys, is it basically just any shock that comes into this area, it just protects this bulkhead. Shock goes in and it goes around and zeroes out. Same thing for the top of the bottom. Protects that bulkhead. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot stand replacing bulkheads on any Arrma vehicle. With that, on the front, I also would recommend probably getting an HR bulkhead. I'm a big fan of the HR bulkheads. They're reasonably priced, and you can just get the back piece for it, and that will lock in this tower into the HR metal bulkhead, aluminum bulkhead, and then down into the hinge pins. That's kind of necessary because this is an exposed front tower, so if you're going to take that roof landing, you're going to land on your front tower more times than not. This one's not as bad. Usually I get a rear HR bulkhead, but in this vehicle, I'm looking more to get a front one. Those are my recommendations, guys. If you're looking to go full sender on this thing, and I hope I didn't babble on too much, I hope you guys do appreciate those recommendations. We want to go full sender. We're going to be putting these M2C upgrades on there because we're going to go a little nuts with this vehicle. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see this vehicle go to the moon, that's what we're going to do. Appreciate M2C designing these awesome parts in this vehicle. Arrma designing a great rig. TLR getting involved with that. Hey, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Free Sons RC. Peace out.